This episode of WisBusiness.com, the show, is brought to you by Grant Thornton, White Hirschbeck Dudek, Madison Gas and Electric, and the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee.
Hi, I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show. On today's show, Tom Still talks about the status of venture capital in Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. And Brad Livingston explains why resurgent business travel is helping to keep the Dane County Regional Airport flying high. And now, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for early August 2012. Rising economic optimism. The latest edition of the Wisconsin Economic Scorecard shows a majority of state residents feel Wisconsin is headed in the right direction. The survey of 594 Wisconsin residents found that 51% felt good about the direction of the state, compared to 42% who see the state on the wrong track. Respondents were evenly split in the question in the previous quarterly poll. The poll was conducted by the UW-Milwaukee Center for Urban Initiatives and Research in cooperation with UWM Radio and WisBusiness.com. And falling, state crops. There's been some welcome rain across southern Wisconsin of late, but it's not nearly enough. Governor Scott Walker expands the state disaster declaration related to drought to all 72 counties. A federal report says 40% of the Wisconsin corn crop is in poor or very poor shape. State Ag Secretary Ben Bransel says this year's drought is worse than the one of 1988, noting the livestock industry is feeling the brunt of it right now. An order from Governor's office also allows farmers to harvest hay and graze cattle on selected state-owned lands. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
Please hold. Your call is very important.
Does it seem like getting technical advice from business advisors can, well, take some time? At Grant Thornton, client access to partners has made them one of the largest accounting firms in the country. Grant Thornton.
After his obituary was mistakenly published, American author and humorist Mark Twain sent home a cable from London that read, "The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated." So it is for the nation's venture capital industry, which some skeptics wrote off for dead in the years following the 2008 financial crash. While the frothiness of the venture capital market is a turn-of-the-millennium memory and the oversized herd of investment firms has been culled, a smarter, more focused industry is emerging. That's encouraging news for Wisconsin and the upper Midwest, which have the right mix of research capacity, marketable technology, talent, and reasonable business costs, ingredients that catch the eyes of today's venture capitalists. The trend toward funds with a sharp regional focus was underscored recently with news that Venture Investors LLC, a Madison-based venture fund, has received commitments of $70 million so far for its fifth fund. That's something of a soft closing on the way to a potential $150 million fund, according to papers filed with federal securities regulators. But it's enough for the firm to start investing in emerging companies now. Two other Wisconsin funds also hit the radar screen recently: the $50 million Keene D'Souza Fund in Milwaukee and the $25 million New Capital Fund 2 in Appleton. So what opportunities do venture funds such as these see in Wisconsin and the Midwest? For starters, the region's academic R&D expertise runs as deep as any place you can name in the United States. There's also an impressive network of angel groups to invest in companies too young for venture capital. As late as 2004, Wisconsin had just 5 angel groups. Today, it has more than 24. States such as Wisconsin are innovators when it comes to building the supply of capital. The state's angel tax credits have leveraged $186 million in private investment for 138 companies since 2005. While it was once true the upper Midwest lacked experienced managers for startup and emerging companies, the profile has changed in recent years. There is a growing cadre of managers who understand how to run angel and venture-backed companies. Importantly, business costs are lower here. Data from the National Venture Capital Association shows the cost of creating a venture-backed job in Wisconsin are a fraction of what they are in California. The era of supersized venture capital funds appears to be yielding to a time in which smaller, more focused funds are mining ideas in emerging hotspots. That's a trend Wisconsin should welcome.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Brad Livingston, director of the Dane County Regional Airport, Wisconsin's second largest airport.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Brad Livingston, Director of the Dane County Regional Airport in Madison. Thanks for joining us, Brad.
It's my pleasure to be here.
At a time when some airports in Wisconsin have lost flights and passengers, the Dane County Regional Airport is showing a 6% increase in traffic. Why is that?
Well, it's strong support from our business community, I feel, and we've been able to replenish lost capacity to Milwaukee due to the dehubbing of Frontier over there. So it's strong support from the business community and replenishment of capacity and sufficient capacity to meet market demand in this community.
You've always been an advocate for connecting the Madison region to major business centers. What are recent or planned flight additions?
Well, probably a real important one for the tech community and for South Central Wisconsin as a whole is our nonstop daily service to DC, to DCA. It's operated by Frontier on a nice large aircraft, a 90-seat Embraer 190. Additionally, we have added, in the fall, Delta will add a second departure to LaGuardia. That flight will occur in the afternoon, so we'll have a morning departure and an afternoon departure to meet connecting flights at LaGuardia. Delta now has a 200 flight per day hub at LaGuardia. So not only can you go to LaGuardia or to the Manhattan area, to the metro area in New York for business, but you can connect to other points on the northeast coast. So those two additions are important. We have an additional service now, a fourth daily flight to Denver, which is important for our westbound travelers, especially to the west coast. We have a nonstop service to Orlando that Frontier's flying weekly. So all of those are added flights, added capacity, which are important for the community and add to those increasing numbers here.
Over time, you've tracked the progress of the tech business community in the Madison area. What are your long-term plans for serving that sector?
Well, we're tech members, and we feel it's important to watch developments in the tech community. We take information that we gain from being members of the Tech Council, and we take that and provide it to the airlines as we see necessary. Important additions in the future that we really always try to work for is nonstop access to the Bay Area. Nonstop to San Francisco would be important, not only for the community, but for South Central Wisconsin and again for the tech community. The tech community provides good support of the airport, and we appreciate that.
Thanks, Brad, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by Grant Thornton, White Hirschbeck Dudek, MG&E, and UW Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent Foot Executive Search. See you next time.